But I really need that Baltimore and Detroit. We rocking buffs. We got the bust downs on. Nigga, we smoking Black and Miles in the crowd. You
we
know
got
what I'm
mink coats and
saying?
Kangos
We
on.
we, 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 we got the Russian cream. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit going down, bro.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome to another episode of Two Peas in a Pod with Tim and Ryan. As always, I'm Tim. That's my brother, my player partner, Ryan, aka Frank Dank. How you doing today, my brother?
I'm well about yourself, good style.
I'm good. I'm just getting over being sick. Yeah, speaking of, I need y'all to be a little patient with me. As you can tell, a little raspy today. Just got over being sick. But we had to go ahead and get this thing knocked out, man. It was too many eventful things went on this weekend to not talk about. You know what I'm saying?
That it did. Miami shitted the bed, if you will, against Syracuse.
Yeah.
And it possibly cost them a playoff spot. So we'll just have to see how conference championship week shake things out for them. Oklahoma, the bleeding has finally stopped, and Jaquez got in the transfer portal. I don't blame him when you have talent like he does. Yeah, it's a no brainer. Play the kid. I don't know what the new offensive coordinator is going to bring, but
Which
I
yeah,
like the energy,
we're
like the
gonna talk
energy
about
he's
that.
bringing,
Yeah, we definitely
like
gonna
the
talk
energy
about
he's
that.
bringing. He's talking grade A shit, and you need a little bit of that. You know what I'm saying? Also, it's great when you back it up.
Yeah,
Shout out to Colorado. They got the 10 wins. From winning what 4 games last year to
yeah.
10 games this year. You know, pretty good. Oh, was it 9? Oh, they got the 9 wins because they lost 3 games. My bad.
They're gonna get 10
Um,
wins because I think they're gonna get that bowl game.
yeah, they don't get the bowl game, but I don't think 12 or 2 was playing. But
Yeah, yeah, fair enough.
yeah, but hey, you got to get to the next level some kind of way. So hey,
Let's talk about all this shit that went on the rivalry weekend. What the fuck is up? What was in the water this weekend? Everybody was fighting. Every fucking body was fighting.
it's bad blood. A lot of these guys they are playing against and with dudes they went to high school with, dudes they grew up with. So they've been talking shit to one another all throughout the course of the season. So it just boiled over and emotions ran high. But I will say one thing: if Ohio State had all this energy to fight and throw punches and all this shit right after the game, where the fuck was all this energy during the game?
What the fuck that?
It's
Where the fuck all this energy been the last 4 years? I'm
not,
just saying, man.
no. I mean, to be honest, Connor Stallions, we can make that argument. Um, it kind of takes away from saying Michigan was just a better team because they didn't have Connor Stallions this time.
They didn't have Connor Stallions, they
Uh,
didn't have Will
you,
Johnson, and they lost Donovan Edwards in the second half.
and you lose to a 6-5 football team.
Like, bro, y'all have probably one of the most talented rosters offensively for sure in fucking college football. There's no reason you should have lost this game. Like, okay, and if like
Quarterback.
and like we gonna talk about him too in a minute, but if you Ryan Day, bro, that it's always every year for the last 4 years, the conversation always comes up whenever y'all lose to Michigan. Oh, is it time to get rid of Ryan Day? Last year, tried to, said we tried to defend you and all that. But dog, this is the first year, the very first, like I can't say the first year, but if you was gonna beat Michigan, this was the year. This was the fucking year to do it. They just
Yeah.
like they lost every fucking body. Two of their best players was not there. One of them left in the second half. So you fucked this one up. That's that they get them with that minister society. You know you fucked up, don't you? You know you fucked up, right? You done fucked up, dude. You know that, don't you?
I mean, hey man, I'm trying to look it up. I'm trying to look it up. I want to. It's such a simple question. I don't want to read all this shit. What is the nigga's career fucking wins?
Oh, you talking about Ryan Day? I got him right here, bro.
What I don't, does he? I don't even think he has 10 losses.
No, he
Being
actually
head
does.
coach.
Since 2019, Ryan Day is 66-10. He's 1-3 in the college football playoff, and he's 2-4 in bowl games. So pretty much he's a regular. He's to me. You know who he is to me? He's Lincoln Riley with a fucking with a national title appearance. That's pretty much what he is.
But I mean, like he was, and let's not forget he was the offensive coordinator too.
True.
Before he got the job. So
yeah.
like, you know what I'm saying? Like Ryan Day has had some top 10 defenses doing his 10-year coaching at Ohio State before he even became head coach and while being head coach.
Now,
well, you can make an argument about being head coach. It's kind of like, but I don't understand. To me, two things. I don't understand why you hire Chip Kelly. You know what I'm saying? That pizzazz he had 10 years ago was 10 years ago. And I don't understand the quarterback pick. How can you? I mean, especially in the day and age of NIL and all this shit going on, how can't you get a quarterback? Now he hit with CJ and just recruiting, and he hit with Justin Fields, and he had Kirby looking real fucked up till he won that national championship. So now it's like, okay, you can't get a quarterback. Lincoln Riley, you know what I'm saying? Okay, he went with his guy Miller Moss. Miller Moss started shitting the bed. He went to his true freshman, and hell, if they beat Notre Dame, he would have been 4-0 as a starter.
Yeah, I agree.
So he has to hit on quarterback this offseason. He has to hit on quarterback, but Ohio State's still gonna be in the playoff. They just won't be playing for a Big Ten title for the fourth year. So
yeah.
Hey, it is what it is.
I don't think it's time
No
for him
Buckeyes.
I don't think it's time for him to be fired. I mean, good head coaches, good head coaches, they don't come along very often. And I mean, with all the talent y'all got on that team, Jeremiah Smith is more than likely coming back. I think Cardinal Tate probably has 1 year left. Or is he a senior this year?
He might have been a senior with Emeka Ogbuku.
Yeah, so you got Cardinal Tate, you got Jeremiah Smith, he's coming back. Junkins is coming back. So I think you try this Ryan Day thing one more year. Try to hit, like you said, try to hit on a quarterback, which I actually do think they got a pretty good quarterback, waiting to start next year. I'm gonna say Julian Sand or Aaron.
Cardinal Tate is a sophomore. So
yeah,
he's most likely. Yeah.
That pretty much their entire offensive core is coming back next year. So I definitely think with a new quarterback, try this, Ryan Day thing. Try it one more year. You're still gonna be in the college football playoff. You're just not gonna be playing for a Big Ten title game. So it's all but over. Let's put it that way. It's all but over. Now, one of the games. Go ahead.
I mean, like, yeah, because Brent is gonna be on the hot seat, but shit, Brent has only put together one double-digit winning season. I just don't see how you fire Ryan Day for losing to Michigan, or I get that's your arch rival and stuff. It's just real hard for me because I'm in the barbershop. I'm like, okay, it's still 10-10. And yeah, I mean, then they was getting past the 50 down there every drive. They just couldn't.
They
then
couldn't put it together.
Kickers start missing kicks like Justin Tucker. It was just fucked up. And then I finally turned back to it, and then they was getting ready to kick the game-winning field goal. I'm like, wow, Ohio State. Okay,
Now,
that's I mean, would you? Okay, answer me this:
go ahead.
Would you rather get 11 wins and lose to your arch rival, or would you rather get 6 wins but you beat your arch rival?
I mean,
Which
me as a fan, coming from an Oklahoma fan, when we, lost to Texas in the, Red River rivalry, but we beat them in the, Big 12 title game, you always get it. They're going to get another chance next year. But I'll take the 11 wins because, it's a 12-team college football,
yeah.
12-team college football playoff. Michigan can say what the fuck they want. They sitting at home. We ain't. So.
I mean, hell, we could have been 7-5 too, like Michigan, but I mean, just the offensive game plan. I mean, it could have worked, but then like when they was going for that trick play and the tight end threw the ball and it was a pick, I was just like, okay. I was just like, okay, like, it is what it is, man. Your offensive line was never healthy. Your wide receivers was never healthy. The only question I have for our new offensive coordinator is, can you recruit?
And we gonna
Can you recruit?
we're gonna talk about him in a minute. But another one of the, I mean, of course, other, fights that broke out this weekend. Yeah, NC State, they fought against, they had a, little post game scrap against North Carolina. Arizona State beat Arizona 49-7. They have a scuffle in midfield. That didn't make no sense to me. That didn't make no sense to me.
But again, it goes back to what I said earlier. These are guys who've been playing against some of these dudes since Pop Warner, since Pee Wee. You know what I'm saying? Play with these dudes.
And there's probably a whole lot of, bro, what I'm saying? We gonna commit together, we're gonna go to this school together, then a last minute flipping this. Oh, damn, that's how you feel? Okay. Fuck you.
I bet.
Don't like I'm a cat. I'm gonna see you later on this year. The one I really didn't understand was when Florida beat Florida State 31-11. And what's his name? Mike Norvell, he's out there trying to, bro, you more worried about keeping the team from planting the flag than trying to keep your players from fighting. Not to mention Florida State. Why the fuck is y'all fighting anyway? Bro, y'all lost 31-11. Y'all are fucking, y'all opened the season with 3 straight losses. One of your wins this season is against fucking Charleston Southern. Where has this fight been all season?
You were ranked when they like number 4 when they, at the start of the season.
Yeah,
they was ranked inside the top 5, and then just got scolded. That's like, it's similar to Oklahoma State, right? Because like Oklahoma State returned like 85% of that team from last year. Offensive line, wide receiver, I think even the quarterback, and 3-8. That was the second. What Oklahoma State did this year is similar to what Florida State did this year. But Florida State, I think, beat at least 1 or 2 ACC teams. Oklahoma State, for the second time in this program history, 20 years to the year, has gone winless in Big 12 play. Crazy.
That's pretty wild. That's pretty fucking wild.
That's a crazy stat, bro. And you return most of your team back. Maybe Oklahoma State, after paying players, and have the money to cash the checks or the referees. So that's probably why. But then for Florida State, but you gotta think about it though. Last year, Florida State, when they went undefeated, right? And then they got skull drug.
They were undefeated. It's just the last 2 games, Jordan Travis got hurt, and that fucked up them making the college football playoff and everything.
He broke his leg last game of the season. Then they barely win the ACC championship. And the committee, even though on paper and by right, got it right, but on paper, but by right, Florida State should have been the playoff team. But yeah, they was undefeated and all that. But look how many of those games were like 1-score games.
Yeah,
it's not like they were just blowing people out. kind of like Georgia last year. It's like, okay, they weren't that. I mean, it took to what the last year. It took like 5 minutes, last 5 minutes of the game before they pulled away from Mizzou.
Yeah.
So, and then you look at Georgia again. What they went 8 overtimes with Georgia Tech. But I mean, Georgia Tech got something cooking. If
They
I'm in the
really do.
ACC,
They really do.
if I'm in the ACC, I'd be real scared of them next year.
And they might, you never know, they might actually end up getting them a couple nice recruits built off of what they did this year.
They ain't getting nobody to flip from Georgia to Georgia Tech. Though.
No.
It ain't gonna be like that.
Okay? They might, no, not from Georgia, but like they could. I could see them getting them somebody from like what is that? Like a TCU or like one of them MAC schools or Mountain West or something. I could see them getting somebody like that.
I mean, once Georgia and Alabama and Texas and Florida and Miami and everybody else comes through there and get done poaching around,
And they'd be like, here, you can
even
have one of them.
yeah, yeah, you can have him. Fuck it, and then he ends up being the first round pick.
Yeah. So I did want to discuss the whole offensive coordinator thing with you because that is that's been a hot topic for Oklahoma for the last year. But I'm gonna let you stab at it first because I know you're a little more emotionally invested in this than I am. Well, not we about the same.
You're right.
But you way more emotionally invested in it than I am. But Ben Arbuckle, he was Washington State's offensive coordinator the last couple of years. Actually put up some great numbers in Washington State. He was Cam Ward's offensive coordinator, the 2 years when he was at Washington State. He's now coming in as Oklahoma's offensive coordinator. Ryan, I want you to let me know how you feel about it.
Okay, you had Zappy, right, at Western Kentucky. I think he threw for damn near 6,000 yards. Part of the reason why the Patriots drafted him, right? Then take the job at Washington State and you get Cam Ward, which that was his only D1 offer. Well, no, he had to get it the hard way. He had to go.
He went to
JUCO. He had to go to JUCO, and then I think that was like one of the only big name schools that wanted him. So then he went to Washington State, and then they did everything but put together a 10-win season, and then this year without Cam Ward, I think they still had a top 10 scoring offense.
Yeah.
And they was moving the ball.
Hey, QB led the league in total touchdowns with 44, passing and rushing.
What was Washington State's record this year?
8-4.
Respectable, but I mean they were playing mostly a Mountain West schedule.
Yeah, and see that's what I was gonna say. Even though that they didn't have the greatest record, the last couple of years, look where they was at. It was in the Pac-12. They had to play Oregon. They had to play Oregon. You had to see Washington. You had USC.
Last year, yeah. But I mean, this year you're playing against who? Colorado State, Boise State, San Diego State, Air Force, Wyoming, and you went 8-4. It just feels like that Washington State should be a tad bit better than those programs. And also, how do you feel about basically the Pac-12 getting ready to be the Mountain West? That's all it's getting ready to be. They're just going to slap a Pac-12 logo on Mountain West schools and play football. So, I mean, Boise State they've been taken serious because, they had the best loss this season. They lost to Oregon. But going back to all of it, you're playing the Mountain West schedule, and my only thing is how is this going to translate to the SEC? Now, okay, if you got the athletes for the SEC and you scheme correctly and you looking at defenses' tendencies and their weaknesses and try to take advantage of that with matchups and things like that of that nature, that's cool. But if I'm not mistaken, I don't think he likes to run the ball. and the
See,
SEC.
see that's the thing that not a lot of people. And I've done my research on this guy. Granted, he does run an air raid style offense, but most of the plays he called is 55% pass, 45% run.
Okay, so
So
he's a little pass happy.
yeah, like he's a pass happy offensive coordinator, but and this is key. He's a young, innovative mind, and he can scheme. Young and like
Boy,
young offensive
I'm
coordinators, they are the to me, honestly. I mean, look how it worked out for Lincoln Riley. The young like
yeah.
when you go young, like when you go younger, I feel like that's the way to go because these younger coordinators and these younger coaches, they understand these players a lot better than a lot of these old school coaches do. You get what I'm saying? Like, look at the Rams. I know completely different situation. Look at the Rams with Sean McVay. Sean McVay came in, youngest head coach of all time, and he turned that team completely around. The
Got
Rams
two
were
Super.
the Rams were never a threat. I'm not gonna say never.
Boo boo.
I'm not
They
gonna
was
say
talking about firing him. They was talking about firing him after his first year, but then next year, what happened?
they wasn't talking about firing them. They just they saw what they had and they're like, okay, we got to build off this. There were some rumblings when before Matt Stafford got there, but you saw how that turned out. It wasn't McVay. It was just golf,
Hey,
but but
that they gonna talk about that trade probably being the best head up trade of all time
oh yeah,
because
for sure,
both teams benefited from that.
but for
Nobody
sure.
got fucked. Nobody got fucked like every time DeAndre Hopkins gets traded. The team that trades him is just fucked
Yeah.
afterwards. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
So
in DeAndre Hopkins' case, I'm kind of glad he got the fuck out of Tennessee because Tennessee is where wide receivers' careers go to die.
now let's
I'm just saying.
not I mean Randy Moss. Now that they draft you, now that they draft you, like AJ Brown, he got up out of there. He survived it. You know what I'm saying?
Shit, Julio Jones, he went to Tennessee and you you forgot he fucking
He's
played in
still
that.
he's still saying, "Hey yo, I'm still here, y'all." I'm I mean, fuck it. Kansas City, go ahead and give him the veterans minimum. Go
I
bring
do
in
now.
Julio.
I do want to say this though, with Arbuckle coming in as offensive coordinator, dog. If we can get Nick Anderson and Jaden Gibson healthy and Ben
Ruke
Arbuckle,
and
boy, but because I saw like Ryan, I saw the film, bro. I saw the film. Okay. If he look, let me tell you something. This is no disrespect to any wide receiver on Washington State staff, on Washington State's roster. But Oklahoma has, if when healthy, Oklahoma has 3 times the talent as Washington State does at wide receiver. When healthy. So if we can get all our wide receivers healthy in this Ben Arbuckle system, dog, come on, man. Come on, dog. I'll go watch the film. Go watch. That's all I'm gonna say. You go watch Washington State's offense. Then you go and then go back and watch Oklahoma. Granted, I know our offensive line was hurt. I know all our wide receivers is fucked up. But even with what the fuck we had to work with at wide receiver and with our offensive line, I still feel like if we had Arbuckle, we'd have had better results. The man knows how to scheme. The man
my
knows.
nigga,
The
my
man.
my 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 guy. I'm with you, but brother. You saw you saw this year. This is a prime example of you just coach to what you got left. Okay, nigga. Like when you got some things, you know what I'm saying? Like Brock Purdy when he has all his things around him. Oh, he's one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. And then while all his things are not around him, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying he didn't produce because he still won games without him, but it's not the same.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, we beat Alabama because we just did the exact opposite of what we were doing. Jackson Arnold didn't turn over the ball. Jackson Arnold made the right reads, and Jackson Arnold showed up to play. I mean, if you tell me to start the season, Oklahoma going to beat Alabama on 68 yards passing and 225 yards plus rushing, I would have told you to shut the fuck up and get out of my face.
I could just no, hold on. I could just imagine the look you would have get. Not Tim. I could just not Tim.
Shit happens, but nigga, like, I mean, like that win. If we was able to beat LSU too, that would have kind of salvaged the season, then go on to the bowl game, go 8-5. But it didn't happen. It's looking real like what was that 2022 ish. It's looking really like that. But we were just depleted, and I mean, hell, like some of those games we lost, we were in decent amount. I mean, if you look at the games on paper, it's like Oklahoma didn't. Great defense. We were basically like Iowa this year. We were Iowa.
Top 10
Great
defense, great
defense.
defense. Offense is just kind of, it was pretty hard to watch. It was an eyesore.
We got to put the offensive coordinator on probation. If we score more than 25 plus points a game, you get to keep your job. Nigga, I couldn't tell you the last time we fired an offensive. I don't think it's happened the last 20, 24 years, 25 years.
There's a first time for everything, and I'm sorry, it was necessary this time. It was necessary.
Even Jeff Levy can put up 40 on you, right?
Let's move on to something a little more interesting for you, fucker. You're gonna have a heart attack talking about this shit. It's like it's over now. I don't give a fuck.
I know. I give a fuck. I'm just. And then the Lakers ain't shit either. They the same team last year.
Like you just can't catch a break, can you?
Hey man, shit happens, bro. Yankees lost the World Series.
It's just a bad year for you, brother. It's a bad. It's a bad year.
Patrick Mahomes playing like shit. Offense. Yeah, let's move on, bro. Yeah.
Well, let's talk. We got to discuss the college football top college football top 12 playoff. So the new rankings have been released. You got even now with all these 12 teams, even with these, being the top 12 teams, these are not the teams that are as of right now. Like if the season ended today, these are not the teams that would be making the college football playoff. Right now, from 1 through 12, we got Oregon at 1, Texas at 2, Penn State at 3, Notre Dame at 4, Georgia at 5, Ohio State at 6, Tennessee at 7, SMU at 8, Indiana at 9, Boise State at 10, Alabama at 11, and Miami at 12. Now, those are the new rankings.
Shit. That was that I gotta forget. I gotta remember because I keep forgetting. Don't trip off shit to Tuesday. All right. I mean, shit. Miami's still in, and I knew Clemson losing was gonna push Alabama back in because they was 13. They just moved them up one. And it's like, nigga, y'all lost to Oklahoma, nigga. What the fuck y'all doing, bro? And you notice all their losses was away, all of them.
Yeah,
Vanderbilt, Tennessee, Oklahoma.
And then right now, the 12-team projection. Now, granted, I know this is early, but this is just the projection. To make the college football playoff, you're looking at Oregon, Texas, SMU, Boise State, Notre Dame, Ohio State, Tennessee, Alabama, Indiana, Georgia, Arizona State, and Penn State. That's just the projection. Obviously, we got title games this weekend. And so I think the team that's really, if you're Miami, you're watching the ACC title game this weekend. You praying to God that really I feel like whoever loses, well, so my question to you is, if SMU wins, so if SMU wins,
who are they playing?
They're playing Clemson.
Well, if Clemson wins, they in because they won the conference championship.
Right.
But if you're Miami, you're already 12. SMU is at 8. If they lost, you would move up. So you kind of rooting for Clemson. But then that's the fucked up part because it's 12. This is why I said the playoff is eventually gonna be 16 to 18 to probably just the top 25. But anyway, because if Clemson wins, SMU is still in because that only be their first loss in conference play. And
Yeah.
then now you're in a dilemma where okay, Miami won 10 games, SMU won 11 games, 11 games. Uh Clemson is the conference champion. So now it's like you gotta put the conference champion in, you gotta put SMU in, and damn, Miami 10 wins mean nothing. To be honest, they didn't really play anybody, and the teams they lost to, they shouldn't have.
Yeah.
And then they were a quarter away from having more losses. We wouldn't even be talking about Miami right now. So if I'm Miami,
You got to root for
you
Clemson.
you just holding your breath.
Pretty
You
much.
really are at the committee's mercy here. I mean, I would say they rooting for Clemson, but maybe they need SMU to win. I don't know.
I don't know because I feel like if SMU does lose, I mean there's two losses on the season. So I still think
And
if
hold
SM
on,
and they be
that would
losing
be
to the
that.
number 12 team, and they'll be losing to the number
hold
12
on,
team. So
hold on though. That would be their first loss in ACC play. They're undefeated in ACC. That
that's
one
true
loss is out
too.
of conference. That one loss is out of conference. So it really SMU was in regardless of what happens. In my opinion, SMU is in regardless. It's like okay, if Clemson won, Clemson's in, SMU is in. Do you put Miami in? That's like that scenario. But if SMU wins, Clemson is out, and then you just gotta hope that I guess Oregon loses, and then Texas loses again, and then
Yeah,
now
but
it's just like
but if Oregon loses,
what they
Oregon's still gonna be in.
if you're Miami, you really want Boise State to lose.
Yeah. You if you're
You,
Miami, you need either Boise State or Clemson to lose. You need one of those two teams to lose.
yeah,
In fact, you're praying one of those two teams loses. All we need is a chance.
man, it's like okay, if they get in, they have to at least make the quarter or semifinal. I'll say semifinals to justify. You know what I'm saying? That 10 wins. You know what I'm saying?
We'll see. We'll see because
But
Cam Ward is pretty much the offense. If
but
we being completely honest.
but for me, this as a fan of college
Excuse
football,
me.
and this my some of my favorite players came from Miami. It's very good to see Miami, competing
Yeah.
and winning football games. It's very good,
Yes,
very
it
good.
is. Yes, it is. I'm not even a Miami fan like that, but as a college football fan, yeah, I would definitely. I can't. You really can't. You can't argue with that statement.
It's better when Miami is good. It's better.
So let's go ahead and transition over to the NFL, shall we, my brother? So before we talk about any games or anything that happened on Sunday, a conversation I want to have is: is it possible that Bo Nix could be creeping up on Jaden Daniels for Rookie of the Year?
Yeah, because Jaden Daniels for a minute there, he had like 2 or 3 losses in a row.
Yeah,
Then Bo Nix had like 2 or 3 wins in a row. So now it's like, but they gonna look at the stats. If they both make the playoffs, depending, I don't know. I think we had 6 games left now.
five. I think five.
Yeah, these next 5 is gonna be crucial. But it's a lot. It's a lot closer than I would even admit.
Yeah,
Cause
I
I
think so too.
for a minute I just had Jaden Daniels just running away with it, and then now it's like, hold on.
Let's read off the stats. Jaden Daniels, 2,819 yards, 15 passing touchdowns, 6 interceptions, 590 rushing yards, and 6 touchdowns. Bo Nix, 2,842 passing yards, 17 passing touchdowns, 8 interceptions, 304 rushing yards, and 4 TDs. So yeah, it's pretty tight. It's definitely pretty tight.
It's very close.
Now with both of these teams, I think Jaden Daniels has a chance to pull away a little bit more than Bo Nix does, because when you look at the Broncos' schedule the rest of the season compared to Washington, Jaden definitely has the more favorable schedule if he wants to put up stats and possibly run away with the Rookie of the Year conversation. But what may help Bo Nix is if he can win some of these big games, because he still has to play the Chargers. He has to play the Chargers one more time, which I think that game is going to be very crucial as to who's going to get that, the wild card spot, who else is going to get in the AFC West if all three teams don't get in. And, if he can put up some, pretty big numbers against some of these, the teams that are supposed to be tough wins, I don't know. They may put those performances over Jaden's. Granted, I'm rooting for Jaden Daniels to win it, but I don't know, man. That 3 or 4 game stretch that he had there where he was, he wasn't looking like a Rookie of the Year candidate, that may come back to hurt him.
But if he has a 5-game stretch here at the end, you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Remember last year where he was like, I don't know about Jordan Love, and he had like a 7-game stretch where he was like, he's the best quarterback in the NFL. Oh, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's fickle. But like, football is based off sports, professional sports, period. Sports, period, is based off how you play.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So if he goes out and dominates the next 5 games and Bo Nix plays like shit, well, because by then he'll have like maybe 35, between like 35, 4,000 yards passing, maybe like 37 touchdowns, maybe almost 40. If he gets to 40 touchdowns, it's over with. If he gets to 35 and up, round 35, 33, 30, no, round 35 and up, yeah.
Yeah, you can put it in the bag.
Yeah.
You can wrap it
Yeah.
up.
Yeah. But what just for sake of conversation, what's Caleb's stat?
Caleb actually, I
Because
don't
he
know
didn't
why
play bad on Thanksgiving.
he didn't, and honestly, I really don't know why he's not in the Rookie of the Year conversation.
They're 4-7, nigga.
Well, that too, that for sure. So Caleb, Caleb's stats are, and Caleb has 2,612 yards, 14 touchdowns to 5 interceptions, 378 rushing yards, but no rushing touchdowns.
Yeah, no, bro. That ain't
So,
gonna get it
so
done.
when you look at
That ain't gonna get it done.
So when you look at Jaden and Bo Nix's stats compared to Caleb's, not to mention, both Jaden and Bo Nix have winning records, kind of rules out Caleb, unfortunately.
Mhm. I mean, they're 4-7. That's why. I
Yeah.
mean, if they was like 5-6, and he had like 22 touchdowns, 2,900 yards passing. They'd be like, hold on, Caleb Williams, 455 yards rushing, 3 touchdowns. Yeah.
So speaking of the Bears, that's something else I wanted to talk to you about because we didn't get a chance to, talk about it last week. Obviously, Matt Eberflus was fired last week. I want you to
This is
tell
the
me how you
topic
feel
of
about this
the
firing.
year.
Oh yeah.
All right, guys. It's a diaphragm. Fuck with me. It's a pyramid chart. I'm sorry. Fuck with me. All right. Hires or drafts new quarterback. Fires defensive coordinator. Defensive minded head coach. Drafts new quarterback. Fires defensive minded head coach. Drafts new quarterback. Fire defensive head coach. Leads me here to the middle. Get rid of the GM, which they probably have already. I don't know. And start over. That's the problem. The front office makes the same decisions every fucking time because they hold on to that 1985 Bears shit that was in '85. I understand it was great. You guys dropped a hit song, all that good shit. Cool. Leave that shit in '85. It's 2024. All right, that shit's about to be 40 years ago. Now, 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 get an offensive minded head coach, get a good young defensive coordinator, and draft the right players, and we're going to see some shit happen. Because Caleb Williams showed on Thanksgiving against that excuse me, Detroit Lions defense that he indeed can pass on a good defense with the right pieces. I mean, he's starting to trust his wide receivers. He's starting to get a feel for the NFL game. He doesn't, a feel for his offensive line. So now it's about putting the right pieces together. Trubisky, Fields, and Caleb Williams has also had the same problem. Where the fuck is the offensive line?
Yeah.
What do you want? You trying to? I mean, like Joe Burrow, actually similar to Joe Burrow, just not this year. He's the most sacked fucking quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah, I would agree.
What are y'all doing?
And
Get
Ryan,
rid of the front office.
what did we say at the beginning of the season? What was our slogan for the Bears? Don't fuck this up.
And
Don't fuck that. And what did you do? You found a way to
in typical Bears fashion. Now hold on. Some of them motherfucking losses was like, damn, bro, you can't make a back shoulder throw.
Some of
them. Damn, bro, like you threw that 10 yards.
Excuse me.
Under, like that, you know what I'm saying? Like some of them throws.
My thing is this: you brought in, they traded for DJ Moore. Y'all drafted Romo Dunze. You traded for DJ Moore 2 years ago. You drafted Romo Dunze.
You paid him.
You paid him. Then you traded for Keenan Allen. There was no reason why this offense should struggle as much as it has. Granted, I understand y'all got a shitty ass offensive line, but
and Keenan Allen gets hurt. I love Keenan Allen, but he gets hurt.
But when he's on the field, bro, he plays his ass off.
He's a dog, yeah.
And I've said this numerous times. Now, the GM, Ryan Poles, I think he just got there. I think Ryan Poles has only been there a year. I think he's only been there 2 years. Matt Eberflus, I think.
And you're doing this shit that happened fucking 5 years before you got there.
Well, I think Matt Eberflus was there before Ryan Poles got there because Ryan Poles has made some decent moves. But the thing is with Matt Eberflus, and I've said this time and time again, where the Chicago Bears are trying to get to, where they're trying to go. I said it when he got there. I don't think Matt Eberflus is the coach to get them there. You see what the league is. Y'all need this old-fashioned defensive-minded head coach. Run the ball. Defense is gonna hold them off, and shit don't work no more. It's a new game, new game, new league. Y'all need go get you a young, like you said, go get you a young offensive-minded head coach to put with a weapon like Caleb Williams, and magical things just happen. It worked for the Rams. It worked for the Eagles.
Sean McVay.
I
mean, not Sean McVay. I'm thinking homie in the 49ers.
Shanahan. You can even make an argument with Mike McDaniel with fucking Tua's healthy.
I thought you was about to say Cliff. I'm about to say, shut the fuck up, nigga. He had one good year.
That was an outlier. But you see where I'm going with this. But this is going to be a very crucial offseason for the Chicago Bears. Because I'm gonna just say this. They're one head coach. They are one head coach away from being the new fucking Cleveland Browns. So where this shit, it's just no matter what you do, this shit just don't work. It just don't fucking work.
Nigga, you guys to the playoffs with Mitchell Trubisky. It can work. But they had one of the best fucking defenses in the NFL that year.
Yeah,
running that same 85 Bear. Okay, if y'all want to be like the Steelers of the Midwest, just copy out what the fuck the Steelers are doing. If y'all want to have that hard defense, we use our cold temperature in January for the playoffs type shit. I mean, shit, it worked with Jay Cutler.
Ryan, don't insult us like that. Don't you ever?
I'm not insulting y'all. I'm saying they trying to be like y'all.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And they're doing a poor job. Why don't y'all study the last 15, 18, 20 years, what the fuck the Steelers did, really sit back and look at some shit, and you might, they looked up on a head coach. You know what I'm saying?
Well, the thing was with the Steelers, Mike Tomlin had inherited a good team, and he did great. Go ahead.
He inherited a fucking Bentley, and then he didn't fuck it up.
Exact. That was my point. He did what other coaches don't do. He inherited a great team, and he did a great job of being, like you said, that motherfucker inherited a Bentley, and he did a great job of keeping it maintained. When it got the oil change, made sure the brakes was right. When the tires was getting bald, hey, I need 4 of them. I don't give a fuck
Took
if the
out
shit's
the
playing. I don't
took
give a
out
fuck
the
if.
old engine, put the new booty engine in that motherfucker. You know, put the lights in that bit, nigga.
And he went through them. He went through them couple years. Damn, this motherfucker don't want to start it. Don't want to do. I got to figure out what the fuck is going. And this and now he back rolling. Now he back rolling. It may not be. It may not be exactly the way he want to be rolling, but he rolling.
Oh, nigga, Russ fuck around and played 5 years.
5 more years.
Right, that's what I'm saying. 5 more years. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit, bro. Like, kind of like when you think about it, it's like, okay, Russ was basically a play action quarterback. You know, that's how that shit was moving. We're gonna play defense, we're gonna run the ball, then we're gonna fuck y'all up with the play action. And then you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna throw bombs or dink and dunk, do whatever I gotta do, and then we're gonna win football games. And then when you watch Steelers this year, it's kind of the same thing. We're gonna run the ball, play defense, play action, or we're gonna have spurts where we're gonna, you know, throw you have the running back in the passing game, and then we're gonna go on the outside, and then we're gonna get this thing going. But now, you know, people ain't wanting to say all that. That's just I've been rambling for too long. Let's keep going.
No, you good. Moving on to what was considered the game of the weekend. What was supposed to be the game of the weekend. The Eagles beat the Ravens 24-19. Eagles in this game. I'm gonna take this one first. Eagles pretty much did. They stuck to what's worked. I mean, the Eagles are first overall in rushing and 28th in passing. So what did they do? Came out running with Saquon Barkley 23 times for 107 carries, for 23 carries for 107 yards and 1 touchdown. Jalen Hurts went 11 of 19, 118 pass yards and 1 touchdown. Now, the Ravens, on the other hand, Justin Tucker's broke. Justin Tucker is broken. They need to get that sending that mail in rebate or they need to send him off see if he's still covered under warranty or something. Because Justin Tucker is broken.
Even when Adam Vinatieri started getting old, he'd miss a couple kicks, but not like this.
Bro, Justin Tucker missed the extra point and 2 field goals. That's 7 points right there. The Eagles lost 24-19. Bro, 7 points. Granted, the touchdown that the Ravens did score was in garbage time, but still, with them 7 points, y'all possibly would you maybe only would have had to kick a field goal at the end of the game instead of trying to have to fight for a touchdown. So hey, I don't know. I don't get it, man. I don't get it.
Tell you what, we're gonna find out in May. Don't even worry about it. Ravens first round, no, second, third round draft pick kicker out of you know what I'm saying?
And like, I really don't know what the fuck happened to the Ravens in this game because they started off hot. Couldn't do shit the rest of the game. They didn't score. They did not score another fucking touchdown until it was 7 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter.
Nigga, it was a rookie that open field tackled Derrick Henry by himself.
Yeah, but bro, come on, dog. That's Derrick Henry was turning around and this motherfucker had the momentum. But no, I get where you're coming from.
You know what I'm saying? They front 7 is Georgia.
Yeah, that's fair enough. And the Georgia Eagles, and pretty much the Georgia Eagles.
You know what I'm saying? SEC Eagles. You know what I'm saying?
Not just their front 7. I think they got 2. If I'm not mistaken, 2 linebackers from Georgia as well.
They got a young ass. They replaced Fletcher Cox like it was nothing.
Yeah,
they replaced him. This motherfucker is gonna be doing this shit.
You want to retire?
14,
no, that's fine. We'll be
years. It's his second year and he's dominating like this.
Yeah.
Damn, nigga. I ain't gonna get too ahead of myself. I'm not gonna bring Reggie up like that. Reggie White.
Now, something else that I wanted to talk to you about, because obviously, I mean, right now they look like one of the best teams in football, but are you ready to crown the Philadelphia Eagles the best team in football? Sitting at 10-2?
It's a team of over East. It's Buffalo.
That's fair. That's fair.
It's Buffalo, because we look at the AFC. Okay, yeah, it's the Ravens, but yeah, Kansas City only got one loss, but and that one loss was to Buffalo.
Yeah.
So they got the crown, but Buffalo always beats Kansas City in the regular season.
The one there's
Maybe
what
this is maybe this is the year, but I really need that Baltimore and Detroit. We rocking buffs. We got the bust down zone. Nigga, we smoking Black and Miles in the crowd.
we got
You know what I'm
mink coats and
saying?
Kangos on.
We got the Russian cream. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit going down, bro. That's what I want to see, but it's looking like you might have, northern New York. I mean, don't get me wrong, New Griselda niggas, you know what I'm saying? They gonna be in the building. But you know what I'm saying? I really need that Detroit and Buffalo Super Bowl, or Kansas City this wins. That'd be cool too, but I am over the Kel Swift shit.
You're not the only one. But here's what I wanted to talk about with the Eagles, because there were, a lot of people are saying the Eagles look like the best team in the NFL. This reminds me of a couple years ago when the Eagles went 13-3. They one of the best offenses in the NFL. Right
Nigga,
now,
Jalen finished second in MVP. You talking about a 28th in pass out of 32 teams.
yeah, but they're sitting at 10-2. But this is what I wanted to get off into. The Eagles, their opponents' combined record is 62-75. They've only beat 3 teams with a winning record this year. And the NFC West is fucking horrible. It's horrible.
Ooh.
It's
Well,
literally Philly. It's literally Philadelphia. It's literally Philly and Washington.
Yeah.
So, and now don't get me wrong. When you look
they rotate being bad. It happens, but this is the only division you cannot predict who's going to win it.
Yeah,
I swear to God,
it's like that every year.
You can't.
But I did want to now. I do want to give the Eagles credit with this. The Eagles' defense this year compared to a couple years ago, I do think Philly's defense is much better. I do think they have a very well-rounded defense compared to a couple years ago, because they had the number 1 rushing defense, and the pass defense couldn't stop a fucking nosebleed.
I mean, and that's why I don't have the Ravens as the best team in the AFC is Buffalo, because Josh Allen's not turning over the ball. They're scoring points. They got a decent running game, and their defense is stopping people.
Yeah.
Well,
and they got a plethora of weapons to throw to on that fucking offense.
Yeah, it's balanced. It's a balanced attack, and I mean, they stopped Kansas City late, but we'll talk about them later. All right.
All right. So this, I also wanted to talk about. Obviously, there was a big hit on Trevor Lawrence this weekend. Azeez Al-Shaair has been suspended for 3 weeks. Ryan, how do you feel about this whole situation?
You can argue he slid late. You can argue that he did slide late, but I've seen plenty of times. But Trevor Lawrence got some wheels; he can move,
yeah,
a tad bit, and then he had all the momentum, so that's why dude loaded up like that. He slid late, but at the same time, you can say that it wasn't malicious because he slid late, but the rules are rules, and he's suspended, and I'm not mad at it.
I'm not mad at it either, and I think what a lot of people feel like, you did have a lot of people, oh, well, Trevor Lawrence slid late and he gave himself up. Bro, the rules are the rules for a fucking reason. And that was a vicious ass hit. And whether y'all want to admit it or not, this ain't Azeez Al-Shaair's first incident of being accused of a dirty fucking play. So I'm just saying, like, the man is slowly turning into the new Vontaze Burfict.
Facts are facts.
So you can feel how you want to feel about the hit, whatever, but it was a dirty hit. Now, I will say this. I get where a lot of other people are coming from, because when you look at, like, let's say Pat Mahomes, when he's getting ready to run out of bounds and like he stops and nobody wants to hit him, or he pretends like he's gonna slide and he takes off, an extra 10 or 15 yards. I get that aspect of it. But Trevor Lawrence was clearly sliding. And like, dude launched it. He literally dropped his forearm and launched himself into his head.
And Pat Mahomes is 6'4",
That
240,
too.
45 pounds.
That too.
You know what I'm saying?
And I also know if he'd hit Pat Mahomes like that, he probably wouldn't be playing in this league no
Yeah.
more.
So suspend it for the rest of the season. You fucked up our money. The Taylor Swift money is gone because
It's
you're
just like
fucking.
they talked about it last year. It's like, bro, do you really want to be like? It's just like with Aaron Donald or quarterbacks. When they were hitting Tom Brady, it's like, do you really want to be known as the person that ended Tom Brady's season? Do you really want to be known as the person that caused Tom Brady to have a really serious injury like that? Do you really want to be known as the motherfucker that knocked Tom Brady out cold on the field?
Or you don't, because you'll be playing up in Canada or
You,
in the U.S. in the off season.
you got to be a bold motherfucker to do some shit like that.
Hey, bro, they niggas know it's a business. They're not finna fuck the money up.
Yeah.
They want to.
Yep.
They want to. And if the motherfucker don't get down, well, he didn't get down what was supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, Trevor slid late. So, like, I mean, like, rules are rules, but that's on Trevor. That's on Trev, man. Just
Yeah.
like when Tua got hurt this year, that was on Tua. Now, when Tua got hurt against the Bengals, that motherfucker put he was taking them
That was his
down, and then he
fault.
put no, because when you watch it, he was taking them down, and he put a little extra on it just to drive him down. He did that on purpose. He wanted to do that to Tua. I was watching the game live.
No,
I
well,
saw it.
there was one game. I think it was the game against the Bills or what game was that early this year when Tua got hurt? That was because that was kind of Tua's fault.
That was against the Bills. He dove into the nigga
Yeah,
bro. All he had to do, he was past the first down, bro. He could have just took a knee or whatever, and then his next play, he dove head first into the nigga. Like, you didn't wait until you knew it was gonna be contact with dude. You just dove in the blind face,
yeah,
and then your head got tangled up, bro. And it was fucked up that it was dude too.
yeah. It
It
was
was,
just it was unfortunate, just unfortunate, man.
yeah. Yeah, that was just like a play. Like, oh my goodness, everybody's okay. Like, I ain't trying to be that guy, but it could have been like that.
All right, now before we get out of here, we do have to do our weekly picks. We have our week 14 picks. Ryan, I'm gonna call out a game, and you tell me what team you think goes. Or you give me your quick pick as to who you think is gonna win that game. You ready, my dog?
Fucking do it.
All right, so we usually skip the Thursday night game because by the time we drop the episode, Thursday night game. Well, by the time I drop this video, Thursday night game is usually already over with. But first up, we got the Browns versus Steelers.
Steelers.
You know I'm gonna take the Steelers. We got Kirk Cousins return back to Minnesota, the Falcons and the Vikings.
Vikings.
Vikings for me, without a doubt.
He's throwing some picks.
Giants and Saints.
Shit, it's the shit bowl. Who's at home?
The Saints.
Saints.
I'll take the Saints as well. The Jags versus the Titans.
Titans. Is Trevor playing?
No, he's in concussion
Yeah.
protocol. I'll take the Titans as well. Raiders and Bucks.
Bucks.
Bucks for me as well. Panthers and Eagles.
Eagles.
Eagles for
But
me.
Bryce they're not talking about Bryce because they losing. But Bryce is
He's picking it up. He's coming along. He is definitely coming along.
Yeah, ain't no fucker. I'm gonna get here anyway. I might as well throw this ball. Come on, man. Thielen, bro. I was at work on that camp for that Kansas City game, bro. And Thielen was getting off on Kansas City, bro. It was like 20-3. I'm like, all right, we won. Then I looked, it was like 30-27. What the fuck?
Fuck happened? No, I'd take the Eagles in that game as well. Dolphins and Jets.
Dolphins.
I'd take the Dolphins. I'm done with the Jets. I ain't picking them to win. They could win every game. The rest, I'm done. I'm done with the Jets. I'm not picking them to win shit else.
Mm.
Seahawks and Cardinals.
Even though they just played, but yeah, let's go with the Cards, baby.
I don't know. I might have to take the Seahawks now.
Yeah. My mind says Seahawks, but my heart is going with the Cards, even though they just lost to the Seahawks. But yeah,
Bills and Rams.
Bills.
I take the Bills as well. Bears and 49ers.
49ers.
I might take the Bears. I'm gonna take. I'll take the Bears in this one. I'll take the Bears. I'm going against the grain.
People forget they still getting yards with the other running back. It's just not Christian McCaffrey. Ed
Yep.
Madden shit. Ed Madden shit is real.
His Madden curse is real.
Not unless you're Tom Brady or Patrick Mahomes.
That's fair. Bears and 49. Oh, I called that game out already. Chargers and Chiefs.
Chiefs.
I got to take the Chiefs, unfortunately, in this one. I've kind of the only pick against the Chiefs that I've been right about so far is Buffalo. That's it.
Yeah.
And last,
go there and then we'll figure it out.
Last but not least, Bengals and Cowboys.
Against the Bengals, I'm not watching that game, so it doesn't matter.
I gotta pick. I picked the Bengals as well, but as a Steelers fan, nothing makes me happier than seeing the Bengals do as bad as I expected them to fucking do.
You want your team to win. See, Tim, you want your team to your rival to win outside of division play.
I can't stand the Bengals. I hate the bang holes. The Bengals, not the bang holes, not the Bengals, the bang holes. That's how I feel about this goddamn team. Can't stand the goddamn Bengals. Y'all, all you fucking analysts in this, the Bengals are going to the Super Bowl and Joe Burrow's this, Joe Burrow's great. The Bengals are ass. Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, they're great. But the Bengals as a team, the defense, they still got to play defense. Defense is fucking trash. Defense is terrible. It's terrible. It made me very happy. Well, yeah, let me tell y'all something. As a Steelers fan, when the Steelers can put up 40 on you, you're a bad team. Okay? Compared to what the fuck we've had to do. Compared to what the fuck we've had to deal with the last couple years.
He just shitted on his own team.
When we can put up 40 on you, you're a bad fucking team. Okay? But Russ was also cooking. So I've said my piece.
But the Bengals have never had a defense since Joe Burrow has been in the NFL. I'm just going
they were decent. They weren't they were decent.
They had a front seven. Okay, they had a front seven, and their cornerbacks would eventually make a play. Them safeties is giving it up.
Yeah.
They're giving it up, motherfucker. You saw the Super Bowl.
That's why that motherfucker ain't there no more.
Well.
Anyway, man, that's gonna be it. That's gonna be it for this week's episode. If you made it this far in the episode, please like, share, subscribe, and give us constructive criticism, as I always say. But unless you want some other shit, then we gotta have a conversation, and we take that somewhere else. But as always, Ryan, man, I love you, brother, and I'm to see you this weekend, and just try to make it through the rest of the work week without having to do one of these numbers. You know what I'm saying?
I'll talk to you when we get done. All right.
Y'all be blessed, man.